to do now, as you're handed over this checkbook, very intricate with a couple of notes within it, each individually, as you can assume he had prepared for this, theoretically, this theoretical circumstance. But he does ask, do you guys wish to, Litordum, he would ask, do you guys wish to put aside some of this gold collectively? It seems that you guys are an odd number. You want me to put the difference in like a team account? Do you guys have like a team name? Is there like a no? I guess yeah. You just half y'all just gonna walk away. Okay, without saying anything. No, no
No.
problem. No problem.
I think there is a. I'll just set up a team name account.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could all come back together, and we could talk about that. For now, I'll just split it, in exact, even numbers, I guess. So it'll be a little odd in your account. And that's just me saying I'm gonna, and I'm just gonna now.
Arthur looks at Bjorn while he was doing all that, and he's like, "So, Bjorn, what are you gonna do now?"
I think Bjorn will be like, now, I hopefully can have your help, all of your helps, find my son.
I see. Personally, I see nothing better to do, but can't really say the same for the others. Arthur kind of like looks at him, and then he secondly asks, "So where do you get your training?" I haven't seen such form.
Who are you asking?
He asked where you got your training. He'd never seen such primal form of combat.
Bjorn will just literally say his clan.
Does your clan have a name?
You motherfucker, now I have to look it up. Hold on.
Sorry?
Hold on. Oh, shit. Oh.
Glad you're looking it up because I don't remember myself. So, Alita Urdum has it that he could give every one of you 150,000 gold. And in your, let's say, shared account, there's a million gold in there. But you guys have to come up with a team name to even access that. So you gotta talk to your teammates about that. Either way, you guys can put that amount in your in your inventory. It would be accessible.
You said it's 100,000 gold?
150,000 gold. Everybody gets separately, and there's 100,000 left over as a team fund. This way, things don't have to come out of pocket when you're deciding about team things.
So, how... So, you're hoping to return your clan? Arthur asked Bjorn.
Bjorn will kind of say, I don't wish to return. I just wish to know that they are safe.
So you wouldn't go back to them, give them the choice.
I would to make sure that they are safe. But if I leave y'all, then who's going to make sure you don't die?
And then Arthur kind of like jokingly says, "And what about Lunara?"
Bjorn will laugh and punch him in the arm.
Yeah, I imagine everyone that's not here, maybe Karzer is still hanging around because he might just jump in at 10 o'clock. But everyone else technically has a flying speed and basically just jumped off and went off to do their own shit like assholes. So that's interesting. But you guys are still there. Lita Urdum's still there.
Okay, Arthur's just gonna pat Bjorn by the shoulder before.
One other thing.
Yeah.
The party happening outside is apparent. You guys have technically freed the planet from a curse that has been lingering for thousands of years, and thus it is very jubilant outside. One of those words are right, either one, and even if it's not, you understand what I mean. Things are fun outside. There you go. But as the revelry continues, it is clear that either your allies have joined them or part of them, or probably going to go off to do their own business. You do see Lito Urdum sort of panic a bit as several it just sounds like like a bunch of phones are going off in his desk. So he pulls open his desk and he just lays out a bunch of rocks that you guys could understand are sending stones, and he's just picking up one by one, and he's like, oh dear, oh very interesting. I will have to take care of some business outside of the city. Please feel at home. And he just jumps out of like the balcony. You see a massive shadow, a huge black dragon swoop across and have caught him, and then he just shoots off away from this area, it seems. But he does leave his desk sort of open.
Arthur kind of like pats Bjorn by his shoulder and he's like, "Well, it seems there's a party outside. I think that I think this awards a victory. After all, we just killed." Arthur then speaks, it's like, "Geez, I telepathically that besides, we just killed an Azor and an Azor creation. Well, I believe we afforded a party."
Bjorn will nod and say, but first, I need to find a blacksmith.
I can take you to the blacksmith, says this wispy, ghostly-looking visage that only you can see, Arthur. You only need to speak the word, "I wish, my master."
Arthur kind of like tells Bjorn, "Well, lead the way then."
And Bjorn's never been to this place, right?
Yeah, this tower is very odd. It seems to be very empty in this floor. You do see the balcony, and you can see the entire city from this area from where you landed in from. It's easy to navigate and get to the elevator as it sort of is intuitive in all regard, but it is very shadowed and mysterious, and very unlike what you can assume most of Imaly is. A lot of it, as you even peek outside even a bit, just if you were glancing your eyes, you'd see that a lot of it is colorful and is very opulent, very face spire reminiscent.
Arthur grabs Bjorn's hand and says, before months facing the exit, saying, "Well, I suppose we can always ask for directions."
And Bjorn just kind of goes.
Sorry?
Bjorn will say, "I'm glad to have a friend like you, Arthur. Thank you."
And I'm glad to have a associate like you. And Arthur, while speaking before we encounter someone, he says, having someone, the Court Horns, our mutual friends, are very lucky to have you as a member.
Bjorn will just kind of nod his head like, yeah, I guess. And you can definitely tell that his mind is, like, he's focused, but he's not focused.
You were probably handed a little pamphlet that says, "Welcome to the Court of Horns," and in the big bold letters in the very front it says, "Burn after reading." And then you look at the first page and it tells you like the rules in Imaly, and then it says, if you've been inducted to the Court of Horns, kind of in big block letters, you may ignore any of these rules if you do so for your own benefit and not the good for the people. Other Court of Horns members will probably come after you. And then in parentheses it does say most likely, and then the next page definitely. And then it says on the page after that one, the last one, the sheet, it says "burn after reading" in big red. And then the final page, the other side of the cover, it says "burn after reading." But the moment you look at that one, it's already on fire. So, well, you kind of let go of it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Bjorn will just kind of drop it on the floor like, alright, whatever.
Yeah.
Ah. Arthur just chuckles.
You are now FBI agent. Do what you wish, wherever you want. Just don't do bad stuff, I guess.
Bjorn is gonna go look for He's gonna try to find a bug.
Yeah. Definitely doable. I'm getting a lot of background noise from someone, I think Arthur. But when you arrive to the elevators, easily enough, you could take them down, and it takes you to essentially what looks like a bank, and for all intents and purposes is the bank. It just happens to have like shops pseudo next to it, but you recognize these shops to be more like regulated items. Like there's one stand that specifically is just offering milk. It's not specific on what type of milk, it just says milk, and that already is a bit alarming because it's next to the one that says ammunition. And while guns are available to purchase most anywhere in Imaly, ammunition is very regulated. You would know this, Arthur, but you would all have access to all the things here found all about.
I don't remember what my Bjorn has skills in.
You have proficiency in ships. I know that.
I do. I have air vehicles, light armor, weapons, language, common and dwarvish.
Mm.
I
I'm
have
looking for
proficiency with armor and
armor and what?
shields, but I thought he had. I was trying to see. I thought I had uh, blacksmithing on here, but I guess not.
Well, you either way, you are all in Imaly. If you're looking for an alchemist, you'll find that through Tiki Corner or some other place that'd be further out in the northern part of the city. But the ones you guys can currently
So
spot is Tiki Corner. Yeah, go ahead.
above table,
Hmm.
how does the whole since we took the check, how does the whole money thing work? Do we have to go to like a bank teller
Yeah, if you
to
wanted
get the
like
funds?
fluid gold proper in your hands, you're already in that place. You're passing pretty much like the bank area. Like there's a whole corner of the room that's just like bank of port, and there's like a pair of guards, centaurs that are standing there, and inside that you see more guards, and then there seems to be a very uh, it's very empty because not many people need the bank often, specifically to take out gold, because most people just want to protect their gold from like pickpockets and stuff like that. So they try not to touch too much of that. But if you need it for like travels and other stuff, for sure, this is the place to do it.
Is he? I was wondering if it like would he need the gold to like pay for the alchemist and the blacksmith, or is it kind of like a credit thing?
In anywhere that the alliance is associated with, your credit is as good as gold. They just probably need to see the checkbook, or you write it down for them. Essentially, you're not sure exactly how it works, but Arthur seems to be fluent in this.
Arthur explains the process to Bjorn.
You are told that you got to write specific numbers and dates to the amount that you're giving out to each person individually. You give it to them, and magically, they somehow understand that that is their money being sent to the thing once the agreement is made. It seems to be some sort of fey magic, but it is very heavily engineered, and again, kept under watchful eye.
Cool.
Well-
He's gonna, since they have to find a blacksmith, he wants to find somebody that can turn his cask into a never-ending cask.
Oh, you're looking for a wizard then, because ain't no blacksmith
I don't
gonna
know,
help you
but
there.
yeah. Well, the blacksmith
I'm sorry, the blacksmith what?
is for something different.
Maybe, I don't know. What do you guys want from the blacksmith?
Oh, Bjorn wants. He's trying to find information about Wolfmune,
About Loki?
and if it's Loki, and
Okay.
then about the god's weapon, Wolfmune,
Okay. Oh, okay.
Mjolnir.
Okay. I heard Loki first, but you're looking for Mjolnir. You're looking for information that might lead to anything else involving that, of course. Great. Then I will point you to. It would be Armed to the Teeth, the place to go to, where if you wanted. Hey, what happened to it? It moved. Or if you wanted to talk to any blacksmith, it is that. And we can do that. Did you guys want to take anything out from the bank though, as you're walking past it? Any
Arthur's
ammunition?
gonna go to the bank
You go to the
and
bank.
just
Okay.
he's mostly requisitioning a payment for the crew. And
Okay.
what was this cut again?
You put in your inventory 150,000 gold.
Oh, 150,000 gold. Now that's a lot more than I
150,000.
thought.
It's,
That's a lot more than I thought.
Yep, that's how much you get. There seems to be an account that is already being set aside for stuff for your group, for your team. So
It'd be
you
like
you
crew
don't need
costs.
to you don't need to pay for that. You just have to get Princess Malachite to come down here so that she could use it properly eventually. That's it. But you guys will
Actually, it
get
got
that.
interesting.
On that note,
Mhm.
kind of above table. On that note, Arthur, I definitely would say that one of us needs to be the one that comes down and gets the payment for the crew, unless we 100% trust the people that are coming in to get the payment for the crew. Because that's a lot of money that we're talking about that they would be able to access.
Oh no, I'm planning to just put it all in cash and then give them a choice between some of the weapons that we have in the magic bucket or an extra part cash.
I wouldn't give them, I'd just pay their salaries. I wouldn't get rid of any of our high tier power weapons.
You may have good point. Well, either way,
But we
Arthur's
hired
gonna
all
use
the-
his gun.
I'm a
Or-
fucking fall.
Well, still,
Remember,
Arthur's gonna use his gun to pay them.
Yeah, that's what the account is for. But I'm saying, because we have that separate account that is set up for ship cost, crew payments, and anything else that we need that is for the team. But instead of having one of the crew members come in and be like, oh, hey, I need hundreds of thousands of gold to pay the crew, and then they just, skip town. We can go in and be like, all right, cool. We need this much money. It's for this. Cool, appreciate it. And then we dish it out.
I was planning for us to dish it out. No one else was touching that account.
Okay.
I'm a lot of things, Jeff, but naive isn't one of them.
You spent 40 gold on a boat with a bar.
Sorry?
For drink. You paid the bartender the first time we made it to the fucking barge with the fucking 40 gold. We got VIP service.
We had
Hey,
more than
service
that, I
that-
think.
like in copper.
I remember platinum being
mean-
handed out, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You handed a fucking piece over.
It was 100 gold, baby.
That was-
I was like, woo, gimme. No, that worked out for y'all. That worked out for y'all in so many ways.
Money hits your pocket. You're like, I gotta spend it.
That was the
I mean,
best
it's not the
money
first
drop
time you
I've
learned.
ever seen. I'm not gonna lie.
I
You
know.
guys don't even understand how well that went in your favor. I think.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I mean,
we get
first time
VIP
he met
status.
Bjorn, he hands him 40 gold for no reason. He's like, here's 40 gold. You're gonna work for us now. Like Bjorn wasn't gonna help y'all out in the first place.
Yeah,
I mean,
Edda
he was
was gonna
trying-
kill y'all.
He was
Edda
going
was
to-
gonna hunt y'all down. It was gonna be a.
I don't want to try.
As you step out of the Tower Azayela, you see that again everyone is having a bit of fun. Lito Urdam maybe had invited you to meet him later tonight around sundown, in order to simply award you it's like a procedure just to put a medal on you because you guys cleared the curse. He's not given out specifics that you guys slayed Fiero or had any hand to do with like anything in the past. He did say a joke about he probably that if we were to even fight Atasaur without him being damaged, we probably would have died all of y'all. And then he does say I would have been fine, but you guys probably wouldn't have make it. Kind of deal, poking fun to either of y'all. And to be honest with you, he's kind of baiting you for a fight. He's kind of trying to see, because I didn't really see you guys push everything out, like to really battle. And he kind of poked at you guys that you're.
Arthur secondly retorted, well, what we did or didn't do, the result was the same.
Of course. But had it been a different circumstance, I know either me in his shoes or him himself in a better spot, it would have been a different situation. I mean, I doubt you guys could even take me down. He sort of coyly says as he's sort of writing down stuff.
I won't argue
that
with
joke,
you
would
there.
kind of just tap hit the handle of his axe and be like, yeah.
He'd look your way. Go ahead.
It's almost like, bitch, really?
He'd look your way.
More damage.
Yeah. So, if you'd beat me at sundown, I think it'd be only a 10-minute thing, and then we'd be probably touching base in the and I'll call it, let me not call it wrong. Yeah, there you go. He would say in front of the transport bay in order for me to give you it seems there's an accrued bill for the savior. So I guess we could talk about that in there. There might be special circumstances in this regard. To be honest with you, I'm seeing a bunch of different notes about it. Let's not worry about that right now. But either way,
now,
yeah,
now it's a time to celebrate.
Yes, exactly that. And if anything, maybe when we've had a rest, we could test my theory out if you don't mind. At least with you two, at least the ones that I know are capable to fight. I'd like to set up a bit of a friendly scrap, if you don't mind.
Arthur says while walking away, saying, say hi to Siri for me, would you?
Of course. He that is when he would like sort of run away. If you guys accept his challenge to fight him, you could talk to him later. That's in about 10 hours. Time is weird.
Bjorn will definitely, when Vito goes, he'll be like, fists.
You would say what? You broke up a bit.
Fists or weapons?
There are medics around. We don't have to hold back. As he winks away, leaving his drawer ajar. Does anybody go to the drawer? Does anybody want to peek?
Arthur's not gonna dare look into the head of the Corner Horn's office.
I mean, that's smart, but Bjorn's gonna look inside of the drawer, and inside of that drawer, there he did grab some of them, but roll 2d6.
You said 2d6?
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, he grabbed a bunch of them, as there seems to be only 4 feather stones just sitting there, effectively. You could use one right now. You grabbed it and just jump off the building. You slowly fall. You know his would have activated if Siri, the massive dragon, didn't pick him up in moments.
Arthur, if Arthur's is there an information broker around?
Yeah. For what are you looking for? Because here you could find anything. If you're looking for the bank, it's just the corner there. You would recognize that just outside is pretty much the common walk, is what they call it. As it just has like a bit of an array of food shops or food carts. Generally, people trying to make money that way. You can see on that exact row, there's a couple hotels. There's a brothel actually at the end of the line as well. You'd find the alchemy shop, the tiki corner, and Jester Spill. When you look at that thing, it's just their opposite corners. So it's one of them's down here. And the other one.
Is that what Bjorn needs?
here.
Is an alchemy shop, or is it wizards that I need?
You wouldn't be too sure, but this sounds like a wizard's job. Alchemists might get it done. It could be worth asking them. And then the home remedies plus is actually up here in the north quadrant. You would find, including for if you're looking for dress or clothing type stuff, you'd find a shop called Silk and Sound, one that's called Sparks of Plenty. There seems to be one that's called Aroma Wares, which is odd because it makes you think like, what does it smell? Stuff. Okay, whatever. And then one that's called Fizzy's Best, and they just all next to each other kind of deal. The pawn shops are there. You can sell your souls or organs. There's salons where you can get some sort of effects on your hair, maybe music on your hair, smell on your hair. What's going on with this Fey world? It has everything. And there's also a place called Unique Blends, and that is not very clear what that one says. There's also a tattoo shops that offers the same things. So that's very interesting. I'm like, how do you make smelly tattoos? Like, how's that gonna work? But then you're trying to look for like the smell tattoos, and that it seems to not exist. But they do have illusory ones, from what you notice. And there's a tasting theater.
Well, in that case, Arthur goes there and goes to a bank and starts making the checks for the crew.
Yeah. You did you want to take any gold out?
Nope,
To have
he's
on you.
just
Maybe you'd want to keep that gold separate from the ones that you have on you actively, just in case. Who knows? But you could always take out like a good amount and throw it in somewhere. I don't know how much you guys have right now, liquid. But Armed to the Teeth does seem to be the place where they do have weaponry. Taking a glance in there, you'd see that they have a ton of stuff. They'd probably have like a beautiful flame tongue that they're probably trying to sell, very prominent and hung up, kind of just floating there on chains as if just is constantly on fire. There seems to be a pair of sais that might be made of silver or platinum. It looks very expensive. There's a pair of daggers. There's a bow that all seem to be made up of a wood that sort of writhes in place. It's very odd. A lot of magical stuff in this realm.
well,
I think Bjorn will, as he's looking around, he'll kind of find the shopkeep and ask if the shopkeep knows of one woman.
I mean, I've heard of it. It's a very old tale spoken about it. I think. Who was it? It must have been like a Zeus, right? Something Something about this lizard folk individual seems to maybe get a clue of what you're talking about. He's probably mixing mythology with like actual events, because Zeus is a thing someone made up of that's just relatable to it. It's how a lot of people later on in Earth time conceptualize a lot of the deities that have renamed themselves, let us say, more to keep a bind of promise to the people. But tomato, they're not exactly incorrect.
They'll say it's a hammer made by the gods that only the purest can pick up.
Oh, okay. So then it probably looks like a weapon. Maybe I've heard of it. I don't think I've come across it. Can't help you too much with that. The only things I have are crafted by. Well, this one I found in a dungeon. He points at the flame tongue that's seems to just be on fire. It's very bright, hard to look at, but might be worth a lot of gold. You can recognize. The other ones he kind of just points at. The rest are sort of just made here. I got a couple contacts, a couple mages that show me their wares. They usually enchant stuff. Takes some time, but they get it done pretty fast. Apparently, I don't know what their process is. It's just like they're good to kill.
And then Bjorn will ask him if he's heard of anybody named Loki.
Not on this planet, my friend. I've heard of Uproarious, but I don't think that's who you're looking for, because they're actually a cousin of mine from like my mother's side, half removed.
Bjorn is going to get a little frustrated at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, I'm not looking for a lizard. I'm looking for a little boy. His name is Loki.
I mean, best I can do is keep my ear out for that, but if I see a Mjolnir, I guess either way, you have a light flux I could contact, or something else. I'm not magical, so
Bjorn is confused as fuck the moment he asks that question.
yeah, he sort of pulls out like this little cube. It looks like a sugar cube, just see through all to hell, and he's just like looking at you, and you're like, no? Oh, okay, sorry. He puts it away.
Bjorn will kind of look around the shop a little bit, but he's mainly looking for any weapons that would have come from like his clan.
Yeah, there's something that might be close to something your clan may have used. They didn't exactly create it, but it's very indicative to something someone else made at one point. There's this creature called the flail snail that sometimes is very disruptive in the mannerisms, effectively multifaceted in their attacks, and capable to just hurt people whenever they feel up to it, if they could ever reach their target, these creatures. And it seems to be the remnant of a sort of flail snail converted into a weaponry. So it's sort of like it is definitely a meaty piece of weaponry, being just kind of hanging around there, thriving a bit. But it is a +2 flail, snail, flail. And it does on top of its D8 of bludgeoning, it does also a D8 of either lightning or thunder.
Yep.
It also ignores resistances.
Oh, shit.
There's this dagger that just seems to be very good at magic, as it sort of says right in a little bio pic next to it. Magi's dagger. Cast counterspell on your magical enemies. There you go. There seems to be a wailing pick. Sort of. What does it look like? Da-da-da-da. Yeah, no, it's just a little dagger that seems very demonic or possessed in all regard. It looks like a reliquary, to be honest with you. There's a rapier there as well. That seems to be able to cast Misty Step. Very nice. All of these items are very magical. Their price tag are insane. But you have a lot of money now, so you're fine.
Okay. Bjorn will ask the shopkeep where if you were to want his flask. It's not the flask, it's a cask for him. Is one of his casks to be enchanted to be bottomless, where he would have to go.
I mean, I don't think there's a specific place for you to go. You'd probably have to check out the dark market for something like already made, or I don't know, maybe the Cauldron's Brew probably has that for you if they have anything of the sort. That's in the north quadrant, north row they call them. If you well, I mean, see, I got a guy, his name is like Tempe, right? And he likes to do weird stuff, like weird requests. He was giving me crap the other day. He was like, "Hey man, you got a good idea? Do you have like a good weapon idea?" And I'm like telling him, I'm like, I don't know, all your stuff sells pretty well, man. Like, bring me whatever you got. But then he's like pestering me to like give him an idea for something. He's like, okay, all right, or at least tell me something like a makeup that's like a cool item to like use. And then I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I armor sells well. Like, he sort of points around and you see like the empty mannequins of all the armor pieces. I haven't told you any armor because there is no armor here. It sells too fucking fast. And I'm like, I gotta get this guy to order all my armor for me, like specifically every time someone comes to me with it, because they sell out too quick. He tells you, and then he says, do you want me to like give him your information? I could have him meet you, I guess.
Let's just say when Arthur was done with his business in the bank, he went and find Bjorn.
Yeah, I feel like the bank thing didn't even take too long because you were like told, no, everything is taken care of. But does Arthur take anything out from the bank though?
Arthur takes about 100 gold off the bank.
Okay, so make sure to take off 100 gold from the total amount and put it into your actual inventory. They should be separate numbers, the credit versus the gold you have proper. Since we don't use, I think the middle slot, the Elysium slot, you could just put the Iridium. What is it called? Ethereum. The Ethereum slot. It's an actual thing, so it's funny. Since we don't use the Ethereum slot, just put in that the bank amount in there. It'll work just fine. You'll know the difference anyways. Either way, so give yourself that amount, and then you definitely would have been here the entire time, to be honest with you. But what do you say to that, Bjorn? He's sort of like
Arthur looks at Bjorn and he's like, Arthur says, just give me the information. I'll beat this guy. And I do apologize about my associate here. He is how should I put it? Not as talented as you or I in the magical sense.
Listen, man, I don't even know anything about magic. I know how to sell it. I know how to price it. I know how to gauge it. That's the best. If it wasn't for Tempe and my friend upstairs, I really wouldn't know too much. And you know, I'm not. Don't worry about it. I'm not too concerned. Do you want this guy to meet you, or do you want to meet up with him somewhere else? Cause he's kind of jumpy. He might just come back to me after all this and say that in fact you have to like jump inside of this weird thing for all I know, or take a weird key and then put it inside of a door, or get on a weird magical beast and then it's gonna drive you over to him. I don't know the situation, but
don't worry, we'll worry about that. Arthur
We
said,
want to let Arthur kind of handle that. We want to start much better.
yeah,
just give me his location and we'll communicate with him ourselves.
yeah, that's the problem, right? I just gotta tell him about you. He'll sort of know maybe who I'm talking about, or extra things will have to happen. Just touch back with me tomorrow if he hasn't contacted you or something. Is that all right? Yeah.
Also, for information for your friend, if he's looking for us, our ship is right now, our current ship's name is called the Savior. That or Project 23.
Oh, okay. A ship?
Yeah.
Like what kind of ship?
Arthur says, don't freak out.
Your vehicle?
But it's
like your car?
No.
No.
It's one of Adastor's old war vessels.
I'm sorry, what? War vessels? Like an airship? Like a fly ship?
No.
That's the ones. That's what he had. That's what he used.
Sorry.
That's what he used.
Bjorn will turn and go, yes, it flies. It has guns. If your friend wants to meet us, that is where it will be.
Holy shit. Where is it? He sort of walks outside, kind of bewildered.
Arthur, is there paper nearby?
Yeah, there's like loose papers around, I'm sure.
Arthur kind of like writes down the address for the ship, the docking number.
Okay, so that's the funny part, right? Like, you don't have a place to dock because your ship is too big. This place does not have a place specifically for air vehicles. This is unprecedented, and thus you're probably the first air vehicle to be really floating around here, because no one else would risk their air vehicle at 5 miles an hour effectively. But since yours is so big, who's gonna mess with it anyways? And the big guns obviously are gonna knock him out of the sky. Yeah, as this guy steps out, there's that whole Independence Day moment where, like, whoa, there's a fucking spaceship in the sky kind of deal. His mouth agape for moments. He sort of comes back in and he says, so glad to have you on our side, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Arthur says, you think that ship is where me and my associates will be staying. He says we'll point to the Azor ship. Savior.
Right. Yeah, I'll point Tempe down up there, I guess, if need be. Like, that guy is pretty nuts, so he's probably gonna contact you before I even get to say anything, given his proclivities. Yeah, go enjoy the party. Did you know that someone saved the planet from the curse? It's fucking nuts.
Arthur says,
it's a discount on everything because of that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the underworld for a few months.
Whoa. You too? Shit.
I'm pretty sure the eyes were telling you that.
Yeah, I know a couple people that were. The eyes, yeah. You do look tired. You should get some rest, man.
rest is for the wicked. And Arthur says while holding Dragon Bjorn's hand, "Now let's go out and party."
He looks to Bjorn. He said, "I thought it wasn't for the wicked." Very confused. But yeah, you guys go out. You are joined Mardi Gras style. Drinks to be had, you don't need to pay. Food to be had, you don't need to pay. Everything but the vendors, you would have to pay, and they're pretty cheap. Like if you guys wanted the tacos up here, they're probably like a silver for each. If you wanted on this one, they have shish kebabs. They seem to be very expensive at like 10 gold each. Down here are burgers, very cheap. It's just like a gold for deluxe. And then down here is just again more food that you could probably find very cheap, like whatever you're looking for. But what do you wish to do? Is your game?
You want to drag Arthur to the alchemist shop.
Okay. There are several alchemists. Let me look at them. Are they here or here? They're here. Yes, there's a Tiki Corner, Jester's Spill, and the Home Remedies Plus is just next to the Cauldron's Brew. It seems to be part of the Cauldron's Brew.
Yeah, he'll drag him to the cauldron.
Yeah. The Cauldron's Brew is a bar situation, very open atmosphere from what you can see. There seems to be a lot of singing and dancing, and yeah, it's a brothel from what you can understand almost immediately as you're passing by. The store next to it seems to be selling all sorts of tonics, especially those that would help one perform. That's like the first thing they come. They're like asking you, like, "Oh, do you need help, sweetie? I don't think you need anything from this side." Like this lady has the most insane smoking voice you've all ever heard. But she continues. I'd take you myself, but I'm off the clock in an hour.
Arthur kind of
looks at
help
Arthur
out.
like, what the fuck is going on?
Arthur telepathically tells him, "I think that tonight this alchemy shop is a brothel for the night." Arthur kind of like explains that they trade money.
It's in the North Row. It's probably a brothel every night. It's far, far away from Lady Azaela's tower. Get away from here, dirty people. Party people up here only, apparently.
Well,
You want to kind of push past this lady and go into the actual alchemy shop?
Oh, that is the alchemy shop. She's just offering that like the first thing, but you can see that there's a plethora of other types of items around her.
She's
assuming.
Kind of look at her and take his cask, set it on the counter, and go, "How much would it cost to make this cask never ending?"
Okay. In order to cast immortality to an item, you'd probably need a newborn soul, fingernail of a god, a couple nights with a hag. I don't fucking know. You're asking the wrong person. I mix things up. What do you want from me?
Arthur looks at Bjorn and says, "Bjorn, this is a magic shop. It's a potion shop." He says telepathically.
I could make a magical potion that makes anything look like that. Take me like 2 days. It won't be immortal.
Turns and looks at Arthur.
It'll break
Then-
eventually.
Where do I take?
Arthur
So
Arthur speaks to him telepathically. "This place is a small town. Sure, it's big by
No,
comparison to
this
your
is not a
size.
small town. And I want Bjorn to roll D100 because she's sort of cluing on what you're looking for, and the lady is, if anything, but a businessman. All right, she will sell you, not with a 23 on a D100. She did not have exactly what you were looking for. Unfortunately, as she sort of pours down in a crate, she's pulling out some stuff. You hear some glass break. She says, "Oh fuck," and then she's like, "Nah, sweetie, I seem to not have any of that stuff that you're seeking." I lost my smoking voice, lady. Fuck. I'll get it later.
And Bjorn will just kind of walk out of there and look at Arthur and verbally go, then, where do I take it to get this cast to where I never run out of fucking wine?
Arthur kind of like looks at her and asks, "We're looking for an individual who goes by the name of, geez, what was that crazy enchanter's name again?"
Empty is what the guy referred to him as.
We're looking for someone who goes by the name Tempe. You know where it is?
You're gonna ask whom? Whom do you ask?
He's gonna ask, is there like a merchant that is in the,
Yeah, there's a crap ton of merchants around. There's a lot of people partying. It looks like a huge party at the moment. There is not a square that is not being danced on at the moment. You guys have to bump on people. There are ladies that eventually do kiss your cheeks. It's up to you just to do what you want. To be honest with you, this place seems to be just partying because of your efforts. If anything, you guys should feel some glory from it. No one here understands that you're part of it yet, but you can recognize that later on, in about 8 hours, you will be sort of introduced as at least the heroes that broke the curse. Lito Urdum did mention he understands people prefer notoriety, and others would rather be more in the shadows, and that's for you to show up to or not.
well, either way, Arthur looks at Bjorn and tells him, "We'll worry about the cast later." Arthur grabs the cast, put it next to him, and then looks for a bar. Now, it is time to celebrate.
Yeah. Bjorn could feel different and start asking random people or clan members of the area. That's people that seem to be associated with the city. There's a lot of centaurs that don't dance along. Heavily armored centaurs that just stand stoically in corners, almost trying to pretend to be part of the mix, but they stand out.
Is there a bar that looks like it's kind of like the rough and tumble type? Where
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of fights that happen.
Yeah, in the North Row, there's like even more stuff further past the Cauldron's Brew. It's like everything is unlabeled past the Cauldron's Brew. In fact, kind of like this is a seedy area, for sure.
Bjorn takes Arthur to like the most rough and tumble type bar.
Okay.
To see kind of how Arthur handles himself.
No problem.